Welcome to this Teamfight Tactics early game strategy guide. In this video, we'll be diving into the secrets of mastering the early game and gaining an advantage over your opponents. So, let's get started. So, the early game in Teamfight Tactics is all about setting up a solid foundation. These are the 4 key points to keep in mind. Economy is king. It's tempting to spend all of your gold on champions, but managing your economy is essential. Try to save up and maintain a healthy gold reserve to gain interest and have more options in the future rounds. Okay, so I found this example in one of my previous games where I went duelist. I went second in this game, by the way. And here we get some gold. We get some gangplanks, which is nice. It's gonna give us gangplank 2-star. But we're at 23 gold right now. We got a lot of gold. Now we're at 29. So I get some units and sell them really quick. I sell these units really quickly. Because it gets me over the 30 gold threshold, gives me an extra bit of interest, and well, it is 1 gold, you know, but that 1 gold can go really far. It could get in future rounds, give you more interest, and it goes exponentially, you know. So that's a good example. So now we have to talk about streaking, win streaking and lose streaking to be exact. Win streaking and lose streaking in Teamfight Tactics refer to consecutive wins or losses in a row. Win streaking occurs when the player wins multiple rounds in a row and it rewards the player with extra gold, so that's always good. Lose streaking happens when a player loses multiple rounds consecutively. It grants additional gold and a higher chance of getting powerful item components during the carousel rounds, because you're gonna be first pick. While losing generally isn't ideal, lose streaking can help players accumulate resources to make a comeback later in the game. So I had this good example about win or lose streaking in the last Duelist game. Duelist is a strong comp early game, so you want to win, you want to get that win streak going. And so I got the kill too, I got the Duelist spat going on, and I figured I could pre-level here, like level aggressively, get an extra unit in, put the Duelist spat on the Poppy whatever, but you get the 5 Duelists, you get an extra unit, and well, you kind of force the win in this round. And let me check real quick if we win. I believe we did. So in summary, streaking brings gold or champion advantages for winning or losing multiple rounds in a row. So definitely check your board. Is it strong? Is it weak? How are you going to get your gold? So in the early game, you don't have a lot of units, so you have to focus on synergy. Look for champions that share the same traits or origins to activate powerful bonuses. This synergy can make a huge difference even in these early stages of the game. Okay, so here we have a good example of synergizing in that same duelist game. We have 6 duelists in right here. We're at stage 3-5 and we have some 2 stars, but we also have a 1-star Yasuo. We still have the duelist spatula on the bench and we find an Annie here. So the Annie gives us Ox-Force. So Ox-Force is a really good trait to stall the enemy front line a bit, and duelists need to ramp up. So the Annie is a way better fit than Yasuo on this moment. So we'll check. So we'll put the duelist spat on the Annie. We got the Ox-Force in. Positioning matters a lot. Pay attention to your champion's placements on the board. So position your tanks in front to soak up damage and protect your squishy backline units. Additionally, position your champions to maximize their abilities and counter the opponent's strategies. Okay, so this is a good example. We talked about the Ox-Force units earlier, so we have the Annie and the Fiora, and with the Ox-Force they're going to be the most tanky in our team. So what you want to do is position your most tanky units, of course in the front, but also on the edges of your front line. We also have the Nyla, which is going to heal everything in a circle, so make sure to put the units close to her. And what you're going to see is that the enemy units are mostly going to focus the outer units. So the gangplank's being hit as well for a bit, but you see the Annie, the Fiora, all both are proccing their Ox-Force, and we have a solid win there. And last but not least, scouting. Scouting is crucial. Take advantage of the shared draft and scout your opponents during the preparation phase. Get to know what everyone's playing so you know what to go for. This will help you identify popular strategies and adjust, well, your own accordingly. And some other general tips for the early game. Number 1, refresh wisely. If you don't see any champions that fit your composition, refreshing the shop can be beneficial, but however, be mindful of your gold and only do it when it's necessary on big reroll moments, like when you have a lot of pairs on the bench. When to roll exactly might be good for another video. Number 2, flexibility is key. Don't get too fixated on a single composition early on. Be open to alternative strategies based on the champions available in the shop. Adaptability is vital in Teamfight Tactics. And the last general tip, number 3, don't neglect itemization. Prioritize picking up items that can be used by multiple champions or have strong early game impact. Something to keep in mind is that sometimes you get item components that really do not fit the comp you are going for. There is a rule to burn components that don't fit your composition as fast as possible. Okay, so in that duelist game, which turned out pretty well, we got an awful start, like really awful. We got 2 tiers, so a blue buff and a Negatron cloak. So no swords, no damage, no bows. It was really rough. So we want to burn those tiers as fast as possible. The Negatron cloak is just a generic tank item. We could use that anyways later on, but those tiers are really bad. Okay, so we have this carousel. These are our choices. What would you pick? Let me know. Maybe even pause the video and check what you will take. Okay, so we took the bow and the Negatron cloak off the pike. We're probably going to use it right now. Yeah. So we're going to make a static shift. It's good for like a Twisted Fate later in the game, but it's also good now. And we made the Dragon Claw just to burn those items off. It's generally a good idea just to build items as fast as possible and get the benefit as early as you can. By implementing all these strategies during the early game, you'll be well on your way to dominate the competition. And remember, practice makes perfect, so keep experimenting and refining your skills. Thanks for watching. I hope this guide will help you through the early game. Make sure to subscribe and see you guys later.